If I may be allowed to answer. Every time we arrest, I'll give an example of Butambala. We received a complaint. The politicians went on ground. We're having what meeting is called, like an open door meeting. People stepped out and said, we would like to complain. They accused a couple of people. Police went in, arrested the people. They kept the people for 2 weeks without a complainant reporting to the station. But anyway, for some districts like Mubende, we have arrested 4 persons. Tulibamu, Sempebwa, Nalweiso.
Have you prosecuted them?
Yes. These particular ones.
Have you had them convicted?
It's not very easy because the...
No, you see, that is the problem I have even with Uganda police. You come here on the microphone, in front of the camera, you parade the people, and I come from the background of a lawyer and a human rights defender. People who are not going to come here to defend their
themselves.
names.
Fair enough.
So I will expunge that.
Okay, I apologize.
Ugandans, let us do it this way. When you get out to complain, be prepared to pursue it all the way. That's number one. Number two, when someone asks you for money, report to police. Let the police give you money where even the serial numbers are already recorded, or even your own money. Let the police record the serial numbers. You go, you trap their people. But you do not expect somebody seated in Kololo to know who has solicited for gratification. I will only allow the Honorable Kasolo, who has not had time to ask. If it is simple, you know.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And my concern to the accounting officer is one. Madam Accounting Officer, whereas the exercise is good and we like it, within the country, it's still lacking. You have not covered the country. Now you're abroad. How do you, what picture does it paint when the nationals within the country have not been covered? And you are now in Doha, Dubai, everywhere. When really you have not...
Honorable Kasolo, Ugandans have been given an opportunity. One, to do mass registration. Two, the services to Ugandans are continuing at the sub-county. Those that did not enroll.
Mr. Chair, my concern...
Why would you stop Ugandans abroad from receiving services?
My concern is one. Where I come from, people sit, you wait.
Yes.
And these are people, locals, who are farmers. And
that is true.
They sit, go, they book them that we're going to be in a particular parish or a sub-county. They wait 3 days, they don't see them. Now, for me, who is in Kampala, my NIRA is in Doha, and you're saying you're...
But are there Ugandans in Doha who need services?
No, we don't envy them. But it would be much better if they are done thorough work.
No, for Ugandans, the exercise is ongoing.
Mr. Chair, I'm asking the entity, but it seems you are now defending.
No, because you came late. No, wait, because you came late, and we have covered that area. I'm only polite to you as a colleague to allow you re-ask a question that has been answered. But it doesn't. And I'm guiding you.
It doesn't cause harm on the...
It does, because it consumes our time. No. Let's go to the report. Report, issue number 1. Madam Kisembo. You know, colleagues, I've been reminded, have you ever heard of something called identity theft? There is some funny person who went around telling people that I offer loans, I give borders, but for somebody to be able to access those services, they should pay me some amount of money. This amount would never be delivered physically, but would be sent on a mobile phone. So when the police went to investigate the phone, they found this person. Of course, the phone was not registered in my names. So we wanted to get the owner of the phone and arrest him. Found that even the national ID used to register the phone was a forged one. That was before the integration. That's why you heard me talk a lot about integration. Because today when you go to register for a SIM card, in your names, you must produce your national ID. They will compare it and whatever, check it in their machine. If it is forged, you will be captured from there. The forged ID would be detected. The other one is about protecting the public. Remember, I'm the one who asked the question of the possibility of making it easier for people to change names, get a form, fill it. But the requirement for gazetting is intended to protect the public. Because you could be in your village using the name Nathan Itungo. Then you want to come to Kampala and change it quietly. So if you stole from Kashari, the police in Kasari is looking for Nathan Itungo. You come to Kampala and you become a one-Twesije. So the police will not come to Kampala looking for Twesije. They will come looking for Itungo. And in every village, nobody would know who Itungo is. So that's, and now that the law even requires putting your photograph, because the name alone would go unnoticed. But anyone who sees the photograph says, hey, Kumbe, this is the one. Burning issue, Honorable Kabulindi.
Thanks very much, Chair.
And you gave us some answers. So the question is, the answers relate to system. So our questions are, was it in your work plan? Did you have a budget for it? Was it to be carried out by a specific date? Was it done within the time frame provided? If not so, why? This system, was it not foreseen that you would need it? Thank you.
In the financial year 2023-2024, it was envisaged that mass enrollment would start early. Therefore, we had planned for alien registration after or midway the mass enrollment exercise would start the alien registration. The budget or the first appropriation was received in December 2023 as a supplementary, and the actual appropriation came in for the system came on June 21st, 2024. So we were not able to provide the system features for the enrollment of aliens.
And the status now?
The phase, it comes as phase 2 of our current system, and it will be delivered at the end of October 2025.
Any questions, colleagues? Honorable Sivambi.
Thank you for the opportunity. As a human rights lawyer, I know, is this term not derogatory? How can you create here alien? We are fighting sectarianism and derogatory use of words on human beings. But alien, are they from Mars?
You want to substitute it?
Is a human being. You can have a better description than the word alien. I don't know.
Non-Ugandans?
Yes, maybe non-citizens, but alien.
Write it down, but what word do you use in the law?
No, law has never been.
But you see, for her,
Uncle.
her duty is to go by your
No,
script.
You know, we need her technical advisors
Yes.
so that we can change.
Now the human
our
rights
laws.
lawyer in Honorable Nswambi is asking you, would you not technical advise us to change? Write it down. Honorable Nkunyinji Mwada, and you know when I come from that end, I will not come back.
Chair, the rules allows you to come back, but
I will not apply them that way.
but Chair, on page 4, I'm concerned with the response.
We have 3 documents, page 4
I'm holding this document, the report of the Auditor General.
Okay.
On
Page 4 of the report.
Alien registration. Now, reading that according to NIRA, they are saying their registration module and its functionality could not allow generation of IDs for what they call aliens. Now, we just want to understand, how can NIRA have functional systems of registering various categories of people, including Ugandans, generate information, but claim it cannot print or generate IDs? Is it specifically tagged on a particular module or IT system? Is NIRA trying to account for more funding? Or does NIRA want to say that they have no other ways of printing IDs for what they call aliens?
It's a very good observation. Very, very good observation. Again, rooted in suspicion. Trust Honorable Mwada. You've never trusted them.
Because generate information, which is required
How
for
can
an
you
ID.
have
How
a
can you fail
system-
to print?
a system which is intended to register aliens, but then it has no module which will help you generate a card? Why? Because these people will need to identify themselves wherever they are, especially when they are seeking services.
If we step into the history of the National Security Information System that was used in 2014, it was before NIRA's Act was put in place. Therefore, at the time that the system was acquired, the role of registering aliens was not a role of NIRA. Therefore, the system was acquired before the law was put in place. Subsequently, when the law was put in place, the module was sought. And when the module was sought, by the time it was to be delivered or something, the relationship with the service provider had expired. Thank you.
That one is not conclusive. You need to conclude or complete your answer for completeness. 1, to date, you do not have that module.
To date, we do not have that. To date, the module is under development. We don't have it now in production. What in IT language is called in production. Why would it be different from the information we collect for Ugandans? The definition of a citizen and the definition of an alien differ in law. Therefore, the information acquired for registration of a citizen and the information acquired for the registration of an alien are different. Even the documents they present are different. So as such, when the system was delivered, it was delivered for the 147 features that are used to define a citizen of Uganda. So we are as I said, in October 2025, we shall roll out the alien registration module. Thank you.
Chair, I apologize, but I think the executive director is not honest. We are all Ugandans. We even do printing. Even companies print IDs. What is so special that you have information and now you say you will never print IDs for foreigners or aliens just because you're waiting to purchase or procure a system when you have so many other both external and internal systems? It doesn't add up well. Isn't it an attempt to try to justify more resources? It's a blanket check that we want money so that we procure systems. The word system is a cover-up. You have the information. And are you saying that without procuring that system, you won't fulfill your mandate of capturing data?
Sir, as you may observe, I have not requested for resources. We said the module is part of The new system. It is part of phase 2 of the new system. It was not part of the first system. We are not requesting for any additional resources, sir. We are simply saying there were 17.2 million unregistered Ugandans, 15.8 million needed to renew their cards. There are 60,000 registered aliens. We thought it prudent
for the opportunity. Chair, Auditor General's report, page 4, where the auditor indicates that whereas NIRA has taken initiatives to register a targeted number of 30,000 aliens, their operations plans during the financial year. I noted that over the years, this has not been put into action. And the last statement say, in addition, failure to register aliens means that the expected revenues for the year of USD 3 million will not be realized. I want to understand from Madam Kisembo.
Before she answers it, listen to this. In the Treasury Memorandum, page 107. NIRA budgeted to collect 15 billion shillings. However, by the end of the year, only 7 had been collected, representing 47% performance. The accounting officer was advised to carry out a cost-benefit analysis of upgrading the new system to support alien registration. If found non-viable, NIRA should consider the other options for achieving alien registration, including expanding the development of the functionality of new system.
Chair,
Yes.
what I wanted specifically to know is how much per alien to register, how much, at what, at how much
15 billion divided by
Because-
30,000.
Because when you get 30,000 aliens,
Aliens, yes.
meaning each one is registered at $100. So
That is
that's
correct.
what we wanted to understand, that if that's the right figure.
That is the right figure, sir.
Okay.
I think what the members are asking, especially noting from the Deputy Chair and Honorable Gafabusa, is that, I mean, this, well, apart from being a service, it would bring something into our coffers. In other words, that it would justify the cost. What would be so difficult about getting or trying alternative means? You could even work in liaison with UPPC. It is our own establishment. First, you deliver the service, but also it contributes to NTR, because the Auditor General is saying, why didn't you try alternatives? Maybe it is so scientific, I may sound like the person who wanted to arrest foreign exchange.
The cost of the $100 is the cost for the card. So it was not, we've got the biographical data of a couple of aliens whom we gave alien identification numbers. But we did not issue them cards. So in essence, we were going to obtain money from them without
Operate
giving the service for which the money was obtained.
In other words, Ugandans were not expecting a financial benefit because the money they pay is used to print their card.
No, it's the cost of the card is far less than that, but the additional is the revenue.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, for us, we lost revenue.
that's true.
Why? First, because of the reason you have given.
Yes.
Second, because NIRA was not innovative enough, that they could not devise alternative means.
The card that we offer needs to have more than just a card, otherwise we would all print it downtown. But
Yeah.
we had to embed within each the features,
Honorable Mwada would want you to print it from NASA.
and we would love to. But it has to align to a standard called ICAO 9303. If we did that, it would not align to some of the standards that security documents or national documents must comply with.
How long does it take to develop this system?
Well, we received money in June 2024. The system we rolled out in May. So it takes anything between 8 to 12 months.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gaffer?
Thank you, Chair. Going back to the question I asked and the response I got, why we planned to register these aliens without the system in place. My understanding from the response, Madam Kisembo, is that therefore, because we did not have the system, which is still under development, we did not do anything about it in as far as registration of aliens is concerned. Now,
maybe I'll correct something about that. We collected information of some aliens and registered it, but we did not collect the revenue related to giving them cards.
I'm still about the registration because I'm looking at the system and what's supposed to capture. So because we are still having the system under development, we are not able to do the registration. Now, I want you to look at the financial statements. Colleagues, I refer us to page 6 of the financial statements and look at page 6 is talking about key performance highlights, and you look at number 20, registration of legally resident aliens and issue national IDs. If you look at the last column of achievements, you see 8 applications were received and 8 alien identification numbers were generated. I want to find out how these identification numbers were generated without that module, without that system fully developed.
Numbers and cards.
Yes. How were
There
these?
is a difference.
No. These are national identification numbers. So how were they generated without a system?
I earlier alluded to the fact that we did collect applications for aliens, but the money generated is around cards. So unless the module that we are lacking was the print module, the card for the national is fundamentally different from the card for the alien. So the card we have in the what we call the card personalization system, the module that prints cards and asks for country, whatever, is not. Those are not the same questions or the same template that the card for the aliens has. So we needed a specific module to print out the cards for the aliens. So that is why we collect, for those 8 people, they applied and they were desperate. They were working with government on projects and wanted an alien identification number. We gave them the number, but we did not give them the card.
Exactly. We are saying the same thing. The question I'm asking, my assumption is that for them to get this system is still under development.
The honorable member is asking this. The query is not even about cards. Although the cards are the ultimate output. Ultimate output?
Yeah.
Ultimately, after registration or registering somebody, you would be expected to issue out a card. The query raised by the Auditor General is that you did not do alien registration. A member is saying, look, you were supposed to do 30 registrations. If there is a limitation on issuance of cards because of the system, at least you have a system, or you had a system, which was used to register these 8, because you registered them.
The Honorable Auditor General made reference to two things: the registration of the aliens and the revenue that was not
Yes.
generated.
Yeah.
So-
I don't want you to peg everything to revenue.
To the revenue that was
Away
not
from
gen-
revenue.
I have explained that one.
Registration.
The registration, we thought it, maybe, I don't know how to put it. We thought it unfair to go and register somebody. And out of that
And at the end of the
registration,
day,
give them nothing and then ask them for $100. If we
yes.
thought it was a bit of shortchanging them,
Not only short-changing, really.
mm,
What kind of nation or country would you be? You register somebody, takes his $100, and at the end of the day, all you can do is to tell him, this is your alien registration number. Keep it in your head until we get a system to give you a card. I think it makes sense. Yes, Honorable Muzali.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, two things. One, I don't know whether this statement is correct or not. Page 4 of our Auditor General's report. It says the accounting officer explained that the OD, is it national, what? The NSIs has an alien registration module, but its functionality is limited to generating alien identification numbers and does not cater for the printing of the national IDs. But they say it was rolled out. The limitation has hindered, anyway, I think it has some contradictions.
Explained it this way. By the time they came into existence, the system existed before. It could issue numbers, but could not issue cards. Along the way, the agreement expires and the service provider quits. So they could have used the same system, remodeled it to a new form of functionality which would issue cards. From what they say here is that upon those ones expiring, they could not access the passcode or password, the source code.
the intellectual property for us to modify the
Yes.
system to go ahead and print
Exactly.
cards.
You gave me a contract to supply a certain system. My contract expires. You age me out. I go with my thing. I will not give it to you. I think we should not spend much time on this. Deputy Chair?
Yeah, I'm also concerned how these people do get services like a medical, like a banking, like these people who are selling necklaces on the streets. How do they receive medical services when they don't have these cards? I think in that line we need to invite the Minister for Foreign Affairs
You know,
to explain to
you
us
saw what
over this.
happened lately in South Africa where they were getting people out of hospital beds, saying if you are not South African, leave. Go to the private clinics. I believe in the private clinic they would not even ask you for an ID to receive a service because you're paying. Whether or not, even for our security, forget about them accessing services. Even for purposes of our security and monitoring and so on and so forth. We need them registered and issued with cards. How do you track them? How do you know who is who? Supposing somebody is wanted by Interpol. I mean, there are so many benefits that we need from this registration. But that said, I think we have understood the contextualized answer. Let's move to the next. Yes.
Maybe I just want to get it from the executive director. Have you contracted another person, or now you are acquiring the technology?
Or
on
they
your
are doing
own?
it in-house.
Yes, because just like we see now,
It's okay, it was a quick one.
driving license.
It
now
is
they do from
understood.
here.
Are you using another service provider or you're developing it on your own?
There's a yes and no to all those questions, and I will explain. We have acquired another service provider. We have acquired the source code for generation of certain features of the new ID. There are, however, certain proprietary technologies, and I will be clear. The one that does fingerprints, iris, and face recognition, we do not have the intellectual property for it. The companies that give it around the world do not sell the intellectual property. Hopefully, Makere will begin research in that area, and the country will generate her own intellectual property. But in the one that records the names and all that, we have received that source code, and it's available and can be inspected.
No, the point is you have what it takes now to generate those cards.
Correct.
Yeah, which technology you want, it is that one which you have no access to, or which you cannot develop, or which we cannot develop on our own, is not part of the package. Simple as that.
Also sharing with other agencies, I think, would be very important.
Like,
because we see Ministry of Works is actually printing its own IDs.
We
And
also print our own
capture-
IDs.
And they capture face, fingerprints that you're talking about. That
They
is-
use neurotechnology. It is also bought from abroad. I think Ministry of Internal Affairs passports uses Cognitech or somebody. We are all using proprietary technology.
in other words, the question he's raising implicitly is that is there technology that those other agencies of ours are using, which would suffice for you to get what you want? I mean, why would you not, if they are using it and they are getting all that, why don't you also?
If you
acquire the
note,
service?
ours is automated biometric identification system. For the two places you've talked about, they do not take the iris. The particular biometric identification technology they are using does not record the iris. The reason we upgraded to iris is to take into account persons who may have disabilities with their fingers and have an additional biometric measure. So that is the reason we did not share with them. We thought we should get, the more biometric features we have, the better. So we thought it was prudent, because I don't want to get into the mathematics, but the potential for, the reason you get a biometric is that you use it for authentication, that is to check who the person is.
Yes.
Authentication or verification of, to determine that I am who I say I am.
Yes.
Each feature has a percentage of error, and iris has the lowest percentage of error, what we call false negatives. Face has the highest percentage. It's the easiest to capture, but has the highest margin of error. It is very difficult. Some people's iPhones can be opened by their siblings or their children because of the face recognition technology. So we were trying to get closer and closer to limiting the margin of error. Fingerprints have a 2% margin of false negative error. The other, iris has 1%. Face can go up to 40%. So it's, in essence, we are trying to improve the ability to identify and ascertain that Rosemary is who she says she is.
Honorable Nkunyinji Muwada.
Chair, the ED, or accounting officer, needs to speak to Annex 2. Annex 2 of the management response, where I see a contract, an extract from a contract. The first pages are not provided.
Yeah, it's an extract. That's the word.
So, but looking at, I don't know the numbering of the page. When you open,
we could simply count.
There is one now, number 2, the front page. That begins with Alien Registration Services.
The bullet that begins with alien registration.
Yes. Now, I want the ED to update her response and also speak to this. We can see this titled Contract for System Integration for the new NSIS. And I'm seeing registration of RN under phase 3. Children RN phase 3. But again, looking at the same phase, I'm also seeing replacement of RN identification card under still phase 3. Take us through this to understand which kind of contract you signed. What does it amount? Where do I arrive? It's as if it's an indication that in the same phase you are issuing cards, and in the RNs, in the same phase, you are also replacing ID cards for RN, and that's still phase 3, according to the bullet at the end. So which contract is this now that speaks to RN registration and issuance of cards and phases?
First, the contract is a contract for system integration for the new NISs. Let's go to the pages, the specific pages as mentioned.
The functionality of NIRA derives from citizen registration, or Section 5 of our Act. Talks about citizen registration, birth registration, death registration, alien registration, verification of information, and so many other things. When a system is being delivered, you cannot purport to deliver everything in one day. So, functionality is delivered in phases or tranches of work. So, we ask that in the first tranche of work, can we have new registration, renewal, change of particulars, get first ID, and replacement? That was the first tranche of work, which was delivered and is rolling, is in use. In the second tranche of work, can we receive birth registration, death registration, adoption registration? That was supposed to be phase 2. But because of the fact that alien registration generates income, we requested the service provider that can you bring the tranche of work relating to alien registration to phase 2. So that's why you see the contract talks about it being in phase 3, but we asked that we signed for it to be in phase 2 because of the potential to generate revenue.
Chair, to validate her answer, we need to see how NIRA transacted to change this, to vary this contract. Because we are speaking to accuracy. A supplier may refuse to deliver because you are moving away from the contract and transacting informally.
No, we do not transact informally. At the end of every phase, you begin with a work plan for the next tranche of work, and I can provide it.
Yeah,
there is a
Chair, through you, this is a contract. If they varied it, we want to see the document.
She has no objection to that.
Yes.
Let's have the same submitted to us by close of business tomorrow, the variation. Okay.
I want to highlight that it's not a variation of contract. When they come, when you sign a contract, you are writing what you envisage, but all functionality should be delivered. So you do not, variation of contract is based on usually change of time.
You know, variation, you are just thinking deeper into it. As long as you have changed the time.
Okay, we shall provide the Gantt chart.
Yes, whatever discussion you had.
We shall give you the schedule of work.
A contractor may refuse to deliver.
He did not refuse to deliver, Honorable Member.
It is clearly indicated in phase 3, and we are demanding
Honorable
for IDs. So let's look at the documentation, the legal documentation.
But someone has already accepted. Why are you belaboring a point? Thank you very much. Let's look at the next, which is interconnection and harmonization of the NIRA register with other government agencies. The failure to harmonize information across different databases implies that the information held by NIRA may not be up to date and may lack some additional details such as criminal records, dependents, and citizenship status. It also implies that Ugandans may be required to register the same information with different government agencies. Okay, several times, which is inefficient. The accounting officer said that harmonization of databases is based on the principle of a single source of truth. Currently, source documents are verified either manually or through fragmented systems. However, the new system has been designed to address this issue with complete specifications to support seamless data exchange across multiple government systems. The questions are similar. When had you envisaged this? Why did you deliver on time? 3, what is the status?
Even with the old system, NIRA was sharing her side of the story on what is called the third-party interface. It is used in passports, it is used in driving permits, it is used by Ministry of Public Service, it is used by Auditor General's Office, it is used by everybody. But it takes two to tango. For us to verify information, the other side must have a similar application programming interface. So if the other side does not have, we can only do manual verification of their documents, even if we were overzealous. So the other side, in case of local government, did not have that interface. So even if we were very ambitious to share data with them, we can only look at the physical documents. We cannot do it electronically.
You have not answered the last one on status.
Sir, it is difficult for me to speak for Ministry of Local Governments.
No.
For us,
the accusation is against you.
It is true. I think it's quite an unfair accusation, but that said, the Auditor General.
The word accusation is a strong one.
Yeah.
The query.
The query is against us. But I think it needs to look at two sides. We have the interface. We are connecting with 90 agencies, of which DCIC is one of them, and of which Ministry of Local Government is one of them. To date, as I speak, we share data with those entities. The question is, do they share data with us?
Okay. That one does.
Do you want them to share with you?
Rosemary.
They need to give us like the passport information seamlessly. They need to expose an IT tool to seamlessly give us the information. But for us, we share data with 90, I think now we're at 110 agencies. So our side of the data, even in the old system, is exposed.